Hello and welcome to FYS at SSU. We're glad you're here. Today we're going to hear from Jim, Jeff, Margo, and Elizabeth about the advice they'd give to faculty teaching first-year seminar. We'll start off with Jim Gubbins.
I guess what I would say to new first-year seminar faculty is to really just be yourself. Be open, be vulnerable, show the students you care about them. And it's interesting, I have colleagues who, we have colleagues who are, a bit quirky, and you just wonder, it's like, what's it like to be a student in that person's class? And the students are great because while I think, oh, so-and-so's wonderful, but they're a little quirky, the students are that way too. They have this sort of the same take. It's like, oh, so-and-so's a little quirky, but they're great and whatever. It's like, wow. Really, most of the time, students give teachers the benefit of the doubt. And so I think just be yourself and show students you care. That really seems to be what is important to students. The other thing I would say, another thing is identify the students you least resonate with and learn how to connect with them. Sometimes when a student isn't paying attention or has some kind of behavior that's not helpful, it often feels like it's personally insulting or it's rude or something. But another way to frame that is this student is not doing well in this college class. They're not performing in the best way possible for them. So try to work with those students who always seem to be on their phone or whatever and figure out how to connect to them, how to appreciate them.
But, how do we keep getting students to kind of push themselves out of their comfort zone for growth, but where it's not too much, so where they shut down?
Finding that zone of proximal development, to use edu-speak a little bit, but that idea of you there's a zone where you're going to grow like crazy, but you got to find it.
But and how do you do that in a class with, currently we're capped at 22. It used to be a lower cap, but lots of the students are at different places on that.
Yep.
And that's where one of the challenges of high impact teaching is you want to try to figure out where each of them are. And I think so part of the challenge of teaching the course is trying to find multiple pathways for students, but it's also maybe trying to be kind to oneself to know that you can't do all of that. So finding, kind of some kind of level of you're open to different types of learners and you're trying to find different strategies to help them, but also be kind to yourself, as a faculty member, and realize you're not omniscient. You don't know the exact button to push or the exact thing to figure it out.
So we have this kind of connection between the commuters and the students that are living on campus. And just having time to talk about what's happening in the dorms, right? And did you guys have a fire drill last night? Were you like literally outside your building for 45 minutes? Just acknowledging that they're human, like they're people and they have other experiences. And then having commuters have space in the classroom to talk about what it's like to still live at home. It's like there's way more of a need for me in a first year seminar to kind of have 10 minutes in the beginning and 10 minutes at the end that are not planned so that people can talk about what's happening. And some semesters that becomes much more necessary than others. Not this academic year, but last academic year, a student was killed. And he was so beloved and he was so well known even after a couple months. And it just, the loss and the grief and the shock of that just took over that first year cohort for like weeks. So I think it's like one part of building community is simply acknowledging that you're in a room full of people and that having the space for them to share some of their experiences casually, anecdotally, highs and lows, right? It can be.
The hardest lesson I think to learn about FYS is that it has to be student centered and you have to respond to what's going on for your students in the moment. And sometimes they have crises, which may mean that you went in thinking you were going to cover this particular issue and somebody got taken out of their dorm last night and they all want to talk about that. And so you have to be willing to jettison the content and deal with whatever's going on for your students in the moment. Because I think more than anything else, first year seminar has to be a place where students can come and feel like they're safe and feel like there's someone who's responsible, who represents the university, and who, if I don't know how to help them with their problem, I usually know who to send them to who can help them with their problem. And that requires a willingness to say, okay, I'm not going to get this content covered right now. I may need to adjust my content for the whole semester, but what's going on in this room at this moment is more important than the particular content that I had planned for the whole semester.